here reporting for duty this Thursday morning. Again, like I stated earlier on, we have a new sports minister. Senator John Owen Eno is his name. Okay, popularly known as JOE, is the new Minister of Sports of the Federation after it was confirmed last night by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and that's in the allocation of portfolios to the appointed ministers that have passed through screening by Senate late last month. While it becomes the 36th person to supervise Nigerian sports since Chief Joseph Mudupe Johnson, and that was back in 1960. The new sports minister was a senator representing the Central Senatorial District of Cross River State in the 8th Assembly that ran from 2015 to 2019. He was a member of the People's Democratic Party. That was until May 2017, when he defected to the ruling All Progressive Congress. Of course, he is a former governorship candidate. He lost to Ben Ayade. But apart from politics, Eno owns numerous farms where he conducts arable and livestock production, a farming venture that he started in 2000. As of 2021, since cultivated about 2,000 acres of cultivated lands. Eno's farm spreads across various parts of Cross River, about 150 hectares of planted palms in his native Agbokim waterfalls, and expanding to about 100 acres of planted palms and counting at Etarin Ekuri. Okay, all communities in that Etong local government of Cross River State, all of that area that man has farm in. Have you noticed that all of the things I've been saying, I've not said anything about his experience in the world of sport, because nothing is known about that. All that we know is he's an accomplished farmer, and he has been appointed as the new Minister of Sports by the President of Nigeria. Wow, I don't know what you make about this. How do you think he's going to succeed, or what do you think he should do as the Minister of Youth and Sports? I know that the experience is usually needed, or almost always needed, when you have a portfolio like this. But with what we have read with his profile, being an accomplished farmer, do you think he belongs in the sports ministry? We are live on YouTube this morning. That's where we are streaming, and that's where I'd like to hear your opinion, to get your thoughts about our new Minister of Sports, Senator John Owen. Now, that's the big news. Senator John Owen Enon, actually, that's the big news coming from the world of sport right here in Nigeria. We now have a new Minister of Sports. Okay, what do you make of his appointment? Get right on our YouTube page this morning. Let's get talking right here on Sports Bang on Splash 105.5 FM. Well, not just about that. There's a lot for us to talk about with the Super Cup. UEFA Super Cup played last night. Manchester City getting their name on the trophy for the first time in their history. And what a game that was for them. And that's a statement of intent coming from Pep Guardiola and his guys. Okay, before we get into UEFA Super Cup, how about we continue talking about football from the local scene, since we started with the new Minister of Youth of Sports, rather. No longer Minister of Youth and Sports Development, but now Minister of Sports Development, Senator John Owen Eno. That's his name. What you make of his accomplishment? He's an accomplished farmer who has now been appointed as Minister of Sports. We're live on YouTube. I'd like to know your thoughts on that one. And still on the local scene here in football, the champions of the Nigerian Professional Football League, AIMBA, have announced a multi-million shirt sponsorship deal. The 9-time champions announced Stake, who is also the sponsor of Premier League side Everton, as their official shirt sponsor, and that's on a multi-year deal. Now, Stake is also the official sponsor of several high-profile athletes, including New Zealand, Nigerian UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya, music superstar Drake, and Manchester City legend Kun Aguero. It's great to see AIMBA having a sports shirt sponsor, and this is a big brand. Coming from outside of Nigeria here. Can we say this is the impact of Kanu Nwankwo, working here? Remember, it was announced as the new the CEO of AIMBA earlier, just last month actually. And what could this mean for AIMBA there? Being able to get this particular sponsorship. We're live on YouTube, remember, and I'd like to know what you think about all of the story. Okay, away from Nigerian football for a bit, let's talk about the FIFA Women's World Cup here. Okay, well, we finally have our finalists. England joined Spain in the final yesterday. It was the end of the road for Australia, and what has been a historic run for them. It ended Australia 1, England 3. And it was a sellout stadium right there in Sydney, but of course England, did enough to silence that crowd there. The Lionesses became the first English side since 1966 to reach the finals on the world stage, and that caps what has been a sensational 2 years under manager Sarina Vijman as England. Remember, they were crowned European champions for the first time last year on home soil, and again they showed their superiority and their know-how to see off Australia's side, spurred on by a nation who have been inspired inspired by the Matilda's success. Now, Ella Toone gave England the lead in the first half with a superb first-time strike, which sailed into the top corner. And they looked like they controlled proceedings until the second half when Australia threw everything at them. And of course, Sam Kerr, one of the best strikers in the world in women's football, she was starting her first game of the tournament. And of course, she struck what was a 25-yard stunner over goalkeeper Mary Epps to make it 1-1. Of course, that could be the goal of the tournament, and it could be Sam Kerr's only goal. But hey, that goal was absolutely magnificent there. But of course, England, as they often do, they found a way back into the game when Lauren Emp pounced on a defensive error to restore their lead before Alessia Russo made sure that victory was sealed late on, setting up a final with Spain that will be coming up on Sunday. Whatever happens, a new winner will emerge from the FIFA Women's World Cup on Sunday. And of course, FIFA will definitely be proud about that. They'll be happy with the success of the tournament. But the third place match will be between Sweden and Australia, and that game will be coming up on Saturday. Okay, before we take a very quick commercial break on the show this morning, let's talk about the UEFA Super Cup. Manchester City won, Sevilla won, and they all had to go down to penalties where City eventually were crowned the winners of the UEFA Super Cup, adding that to the treble that they won last season with victory over Sevilla right there in Athens. While Pep Guardiola's Champions League winners lost the Community Shield to Arsenal just last weekend, but they saw their fortunes on penalties as well, and now their fortunes were transformed when Sevilla's Nemanja Guelch eats his own penalty to the bar after 9 successful penalties. Now, that was great penalty shootout by both teams, honestly. And I thought, some of the women's team, especially that game between Nigeria and England, perhaps they could just go back and watch that video and see some great penalties that the men played yesterday. But hey, of course, penalty, as they say, is a game of luck. And Sevilla goalkeeper Bono and his Manchester City counterpart Ederson both excelled with fine saves before the man of the match, Cole Palmer, rose to the far post in the 63rd minute to level with what was a looping header from Rodri's cross. And that, it set up a tense final that eventually resulted into another piece of silverware added to Guardiola's vast collection. And of course, Manchester City as well, also making a huge statement on their ambition this season. It's their first Super Cup trophy, and what a way to win that on penalties. We're going to take a break to join our partners at the BBC for the BBC Premier League updates, and then we'll take a commercial break. We'll return to continue with Sports Bank this morning. Keep it locked.
BBC Premier League update from the home of Premier League football.
Hello, I'm Paul Serres at the BBC Sports Centre. The treble winners, Manchester City, came from a goal down to beat Sevilla on penalties to win the European Super Cup in Athens. The BBC's football correspondent John Murray reports.
For the first time, the name of Manchester City was engraved on this trophy, but this was no vintage display from Pep Guardiola's team. They lacked much of the fluency that was the hallmark of their treble-winning season and missed the injured De Bruyne, the unwell Bernardo Silva and the now moved-on Gundogan. And Sevilla were tough to beat after they took a first-half lead with a towering header from En Naziri. But the Moroccan World Cup striker was too wasteful with a string of chances early in the second half. Mancunian Cole Palmer headed City's equaliser, and in the penalty shootout, after 9 successful spot kicks, Gudels for Sevilla struck the crossbar and Manchester City increased their 2023 trophy collection.
Meanwhile, Manchester City have accepted an undisclosed offer from the Saudi Arabian side Al Nassr for the Spain defender Aymeric Laporte. Harry Maguire's move to West Ham is off, with the defender intent on staying at Manchester United to fight for his place in the first team. The England defender looks set to join the Hammers after a $38 million fee was agreed between the clubs. Maguire struggled for first-team opportunities last year and was stripped of the captaincy ahead of the start of this season. However, United have maintained they would respect his wishes and did not want to push him out of the club. And Arsenal's new signing, Jurrien Timber, has been sidelined with a serious knee injury. The Dutch defender damaged his anterior cruciate ligament in his right knee during the Gunners' 2-1 win at home against Nottingham Forest in their opening match of the new English Premier League season last weekend. And for more football news from the BBC, go to bbc.com/football.
BBC Premier League update from the home of Premier League football.
Splash FM 105.5. It's your chance to be a millionaire. Win big in the Hope Wallet promo. Hope PS Bank is giving away 2 million naira every week. Amazing, right? Open a Hope Wallet account and get 500 naira welcome bonus. Here's the best part. Transact 5 times or more in a week and start your journey to be a millionaire by winning 50,000 naira weekly. As Hope PS Bank gives away 2 million naira every week to existing and new customers. The more you transact, the higher your chances of winning. To get started, dial *569*9# or download the Hope Digital app or visit www.hopepsbank.com. Terms and conditions apply. Hope, succeed. Hope Bank always.
So special to us. Start your day with the nutritious and delicious goodness of Golden Morn. Now available in 30 grams, 45 grams, 300 grams, 600 grams, and 900 grams packs. A pack size for everyone. Golden Morn. Make every day golden. Golden. Golden Morn. So special to us.
Disneyland! Here I come!
You too can win an all-expense-paid trip to Disneyland in the Indomie Golden Magnets promo. Buy the Indomitable 70-gram pack and find the Golden Magnet inside. Visit indomie.ng/Golden Magnets promo to enter your details and unique code. Golden Magnets winners will experience the magical wonders of Disneyland. Silver Magnets winners can also win amazing prizes. Get your favorite Indomitable Magnets with every Indomitable pack you buy during this promo. Terms and conditions apply.
Titi, I'm leaving now. Make sure you use this hypo bleach sachet to wash all the clothes, clean the bathroom, mop the floors, and
Mommy, one sachet for all this plenty work?
Yes, sir. Introducing the Hypo Bleach 200 ml bigger sachet, the bigger sachet you've been waiting for. Now you can do more disinfecting, whitening, and cleaning for just 100 naira.
Bigger 200 ml hypo sachet to do more housework.
Uncle Dentist, what are cavities? And how does Colgate protect my teeth from cavities? Does it use Kung Fu?
No, dear. Most tooth pains are caused by tooth holes called cavities. When you brush daily with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, its expert formula locks natural calcium in our teeth and helps protect them from cavities.
It's time to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Colgate is recommended by the Nigerian Dental Association.
wow! Your baby is here! Congratulations!
Do not waste time. Put your baby to breast within the first 1 hour of delivery to give that first yellowish milk colostrum. Colostrum has all the important nutrients your baby needs to start a healthy life. Colostrum also helps to protect your baby against diseases. Remember, put your baby to breast within the first 1 hour of delivery. This message is from the Anrin Project or your state's Ministry of Health.
Cowbellpedia is back with more subjects and more entertainment, and up to 100 million naira worth of prizes, scholarships, and cowbell products. Introducing the new quiz master, Ebuka Obi Uchendu, and your host, the stunning Linda Ejiofor. Watch 14 weeks of pure genius on Africa Magic, NTA, and TVC. Cowbellpedia. So good, so smart.
Malaria, a double punch of Artesunate and Ammonia Queen. An effective combination that Camosunate. Camosunate is anti-malaria therapy. Camosunate. And you will bounce back to life. Camosunate. Comes in 4 different packs, 4 different age groups. Below 1 year, 1 to 6 years, 7 to 13 years, 14 and above.
Camosunate, effective anti-malaria for all ages. Marketed by Charity Pharmaceuticals Limited.
If symptoms persist after 3 days, please see your doctor. Read the leaflet inside.
Splash FM 105.5.
Okay, welcome back from that break. It is still Sports Bang right here on Splash 105.5 FM, the Integrity Dial, and blessing for we're here on duty this morning. Remember, we have a new sports minister. Well, actually, the Ministry of Youth has been separated from the Ministry of Sports Development, and the new Minister of Sports Development is John Owa Eno. And what do you make of his appointment? He's an accomplished farmer. Not so much in his profile, it points to sports, but what are you expecting from him? Remember, we're live on YouTube this morning where we're streaming, and I'd like to know your opinion about his appointment. Well, we're coming to take those comments in a bit. Well, yesterday on Just Football, we had a prediction for the UEFA Super Cup game between Manchester City and Sevilla. Well, 1-1 in regulation time, and went into penalties rather, where City eventually won 5-4. And all of the prediction I'm seeing here, no one thought it could end in a draw. Many people gave outrightly to Manchester City from 4-0 to 3-1 to 3-0. Unfortunately, none of those score lines, none of those predictions actually made it through. So maybe we'll go again on Saturday when we get to predict the big games that we'll be having on Saturday. We'll talk about that. Okay, well, one thing is certain. Now that club football is back, it simply means that Rep Your Club is also back. Season 6 of Rep Your Club is set to come through, and that will be coming back later in September, 28th of September, actually on Thursday, 28th of September 2023, and our venue is going to be at the Jogo Event Center off Ring Road right here in Ibadan. And our headline act, I should have a drum roll for this one, aka is King Said Oshokpa. We're going to be having him headlining the Rep Your Club event for season 6, and our co-sponsor is Bet King, and we're going to be revealing information about some other performance later on, but just keep the date, save the date somewhere, 28th of September 2023, co-sponsored by Bet King. Rep Your Club season 6 is back, and our headline act is King Said Oshokpa. Of course, you'd like to be there to rep your clubs, your various club sites, from Enyimba to Shooting Stars to Real Madrid to Arsenal, Manchester United. Well, are there Manchester City fans in Nigeria? I like to think so. I mean, since the recent success they've been having, many people have, swapped places from Arsenal to Manchester City, some from Chelsea as well. Anyway, just get ready for Rep Your Club season 6 coming up 28th of September 2023. Okay, how about we take some comments on YouTube this morning? People already reacting to this announcement of the new Minister of Sports, Sports Development. This is from Kunle Omoli. It says, good morning, blessing. Shebi, our senior national team is Super Eagles. It will be rearing our Eagles now. But what is the name of a farmer rearing Eagles? Okay, I have no answer to that one, but thank you for dropping by anyway. Olutaya Rolo says, we can only hope, but I am not thrilled with the appointment of the Minister of Sports Development. He clearly lacks the know-how in sports. I can only wish him the very best. Okay, thank you for that one. George Ayobami, basically has had lots of comments here. There were 3 actually. Says, okay, I'm going to take them one by one. Good morning, blessing. I would like to see what the first 6 months of John's tenure would turn out to be. We'll cut him some slack for now. The coming months will tell, it says. And then it says, I kept on studying the profile of the mathematical Segun Odegbami all through last night. Ex-international, is educated, an engineer, a grassroots sports advocate, yet the presidency. Okay, he didn't complete that. Says maybe because he doesn't take interest in playing Nigeria's kind of politics. It is well. That's how George Abayomi ends his comments there. Well, what you make? John Owen Eno is the new Minister of Sports Development in Nigeria. What are your thoughts about that? Get right on our YouTube page this morning and let's get talking. And real quick, in the world of transfer here, Hugo Lloris is set to leave Tottenham. Well, the Tottenham are in talks with Lazio actually over the sale of the French international goalkeeper. And nothing is set in stone yet. But first, it was muted from Sports Squad as they opened their Premier League campaign with a 2-2 draw with Brentford last weekend. And Lloris has expressed desire to leave the club early in the summer, and he was left out of their pre-season tour of Australia. And now it looks like he might be heading in the way of Italy to join up with Lazio. It's not done and dusted yet anyway. And Liverpool are in talks with Stuttgart over the signing of the Japan midfielder Wataru Endo. The 30-year-old made 33 Bundesliga appearances last season, scoring 5 goals and registering 4 assists. And Stuttgart narrowly avoided relegation last season by winning a playoff against Hamburg. And Liverpool have now made the move for Endo after missing out on their target, Moises Caicedo. And now it looks like they're going to be beaten by Chelsea to the signature of Romeo Latvia as well. And that's why they've gone in the direction of Wataru Endo here. Hey, but what does this mean for Liverpool? They need a defensive midfielder real bad after the departures of Fabinho, Jordan Anderson, James Milner, all of them leaving this summer, and Naby Keita as well. But hey, Endo, is that the solution to the midfield? Who knows? Anyway, until that deal is done over the line, first and foremost, we cannot exactly say what that will mean for Liverpool, but let's see how it goes there. The Manchester United yesterday released a statement that didn't really contain any statement entirely, as far as I am concerned, and that was about Mason Greenwood. They said they are in the final stages of making a decision on his future. How about you come out and tell us, okay, we've made a decision, and this is the decision. It's going to be a part of the team, or it's not going to be a part of the team. But why do you release a statement saying that, we are still deciding what his future will look like? I mean, it almost seems as though United are kind of scared to make a decision here. Well, maybe that could be coming from the uproar, coming from female fans, even the female football team as well. Many of them are not really happy with the events surrounding Mason Greenwood, and they are really keen, just keeping an eye on what decision Manchester United will make here, as of course it might also impact them. That's what they are saying anyway. But United are saying that they are still they've concluded their investigation, but they are in the process of making a decision. Nothing is said yet, and that was what all that the statement they released yesterday was all about there. Moving on from football, let's talk about other sports real quick before we call it quits on the show this morning. In tennis here, Venus Williams was unable to win back-to-back WTA Tour matches for the first time since 2019 after leading a set and a break, letting a set and a break slip in Cincinnati. She received wild card for a record extending 24th US Open. The 43-year-old American lost 1-6, 6-1 to world number 24 Zheng Quang, and Zheng, who is 20, served out victory, and next for her will be top seed Iga Swiatek in the Western and Southern Open last 16. And two-time finalist Karina Wozniacki, who is making a comeback after retiring in 2020, also got a wild card yesterday to be a part of the US Open, which will be coming up as the final major event of the season, starting on the 28th of August. That's a couple of days from now, actually. And earlier in the men's singles, Russian 30 Daniil Medvedev moved into the last 16 with a 6-3, 6-2 victory over Italy's Lorenzo Musetti. Medvedev, who claimed the title in 2019 before going on to reach the US Open final, will be facing Germany's Alexander Zverev next. That's in the next round. And the World Championship is starting very, very soon as well, a couple of days away. And of course, it looks like Usain Bolt's long-standing 200 meters record might just be under threat. And Noah Lyles is the man who is looking likely to break that record because of his personal best so far this season. Noah Lyles has had 19.31. That's what it took. That was the time he ran to take the World Championship last year. And who knows? It could be nearing the 19.90 second. But he himself has been predicting that he wants to run 19.10 second to shatter Usain Bolt's 14-year record, which has been standing. Who knows if that will be possible? But hey, we'll keep our fingers crossed on that. And of course, Nigeria, our medal hopefuls will be pinned on Ese Brume, and maybe Tobiloba Amuson if she is eventually cleared by the World Athletics. Last week they said they're still, they're yet to make a decision. Apparently she's yet to appeal her case. Basically, that's what the report, the World Athletics said. So we have to wait for them to make an official announcement, and then we know if indeed Tobiloba Amuson will be a part of the World Championship right there in Budapest, Hungary. Okay, and final strike on the show this morning. World Aquatics will debut a new category, a new open category for transgender athletes at this year's Swimming World Cup event in Berlin. Last year, the world governing body voted to stop transgender athletes from competing in the women's elite races. And now they're saying that the open category will feature 50 meters and 100-meter races across all the strokes. And this is coming for whoever is identifying, whose gender identity, rather, is different from their birth sex. That's where you can compete. I think this makes perfect sense as far as I'm concerned. Honestly, I mean, you could compete with people who are also in their category as well. I think it makes it really, really fair. But hey, that's how far we can go on Sports Bank this morning. Thank you for being a part of the show. Maybe on Saturday, I know conversation will continue about this new appointment for the Minister of Sports Development and what we expect for him. Of course, we'll be setting an agenda for him. Maybe on Saturday we'll get to talk more about that. But before that, tomorrow, join us at 7:30 for another edition of Sports Bank. I am Blessing for Wowe. Enjoy the rest of your day. Au revoir.
Splash FM 105.5.
and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts as we are about to bless your ears with electric